You know that knot on your inner ankle? I just hit that bitch. What's up, everybody? It's Your Majesty. Welcome back to my queendom. I am here live from my closet, bitch. Coming to you raw, live, no lashes. So, I mean, they're there, bitch. You see them. They there. Okay? Looking like a naked mole rat. It's all good, though. I was too lazy to put on lashes. So, this is what you're getting. You're still gonna watch the video. So, tonight I'm gonna tell you guys the story of the worst house party. The worst house party ever. It was eventful. And I'm gonna tell you guys all of the tea, or in this case, all of the Everclear honey. Okay, so this story takes place when I was 18 years old. I was with Jeremy. He was my boyfriend at the time. I was in California. He was in Dallas. And because he turned 18 before me. So like a couple months after I turned 18, he got me a flight and moved my son and I out to him. He had gotten an apartment with his cousin, James. James is older than us. And so they got an apartment, real nice, like across the street from their job. Like they both worked at the same place. It was like straight across the street from their job. And it had 2 master bedrooms. So like you walk in and behind the front door is one bedroom with a balcony and then its own bathroom. And then you come out of that room past the front door and you have the living room on one side, and then across from it is the kitchen. And once you pass the living room and the kitchen, you go straight into Jeremy's bedroom. That bedroom had like a big window that like covered the entire wall from top to bottom. And then like we had our own bathroom, and then our bathroom had a tub and a stand-up shower and a walk-in closet in it. So it was 2 master bedrooms basically, but one was like a little bit smaller. We got the bigger one because there was 3 of us. So it was a nice little setup, you know. Here I am, 18, with my 18-year-old boyfriend and our son, and my boyfriend at the time's cousin James, who is like, I think he's like 5 years older than us or something. So he was like in his early 20s, right? So before I got to Dallas, Jeremy and James had made friends. No, they were also 18. They were all girls. Like, I didn't think anything of it because like I already knew that while I was in California, Jeremy had been like seeing some girl or whatever, like it's a whole different story. Like every time we broke up, he would get with somebody because he doesn't like, you know that Drake song, Hate Sleeping Alone? That was it. It was basically like he would just get girls to occupy his time until like we got back together. Like it's always been like that, and it still is. You know it is, Jeremy. So they made a group of friends, these girls, and there was a mixed girl. She was black and white. We'll call her Harlem. There was a white girl. Her name, let's call her Lee. There was 2 Asian girls. I'm gonna call her, ooh, that would have been shade. Ooh, that would have been shady as fuck. Oh my god, I'm so mean. Let's just call her Doe. And then there was like there were like a couple other girls, but like these were the 3 main ones. There was Doe, the Asian chick, Lee, the white girl, and then Harlem, the mixed girl. Actually there was like they had just like a whole group of friends. James has a sister who lived in Dallas, and the sister had a daughter named, let's call her Pinky. Pinky was like 7 or 8 years old at the time. I honestly can't remember. And James used to watch her sometimes, like on the weekends or during the week, like overnight, during the day. Like that was his niece, so like sometimes he would have her over. So Jeremy and James had these group of friends that were all girls, and they always used to come over, like always. They were always there listening to music. James, he like made beats, and like he had like his own studio. He made his own studio like in his bathroom closet. Like it was dope though. Like it looked like a real booth. And like so they would just, you know, play around in his room and stuff like that. And we would all like just chill. There was more girls besides those three. There were at least 2 or 3 more girls that used to come over. We would play Dance Revolution. Like that was my game. Like I would, you know, whenever they came over, if like they were bored, we would play video games on, you know, my TV and play my Dance Revolution game. And it was just a fun house. One day, I don't know what used to go on between James and Jeremy's heads. They used to come up with the craziest things, right? So one day, like, I'm just chilling. I'm just in the kitchen or whatever, and here comes Jeremy. He like, have you ever heard of Everclear? I was like, huh? And mind you, I'm 18 at the time. I had just had my first experience with alcohol, like maybe 6 months before, and it was terrible. Like I was throwing up everywhere. Like that was the first time that I got drunk. It wasn't the first time I had alcohol, because I had like Hard Mike's lemonade before, and like a sip of Heineken here and there and stuff like that. But the first time I got drunk, it was really recent. So I didn't know anything about alcohol at all. So he explains to me what Everclear is, and how it's like super potent, it's like super strong, you know. And then he says, yeah, we're gonna make trash can punch. And I was like, what? Like, what is that? Like, you know, it sounds like a weird drink or something. He was like, it's when you get a whole bunch of Everclear and like some other stuff, and you put a whole bunch of fruit in it, and then the alcohol gets absorbed by the fruit, and then like you just drink it and eat the fruit, and then you get super drunk. And I'm like, fuck it. Like, do I have a say? Like, do I really have a say in this? Like, you're gonna do it anyway. You guys are gonna do what the fuck you want, because like you've been doing that before I even got here. You've been like, you know, having people over, doing, you know, crazy things. So it doesn't matter. Like, fuck it, let's do it. Let's get drunk, right? Jeremy and James, they go and like they actually get a trash can, and they get like the liquor. So they buy the fruit or whatever like that. And Harlem, she came over first. Like, she came over during the day to get like everything started for the party that night. Also on that day, James's sister dropped off Pinky to come and stay the night. And I don't know why we decided to like do it that day while Pinky was there. I don't know. Like, we were just irresponsible. I don't know. It just didn't make sense. So it's the day of the party, the little house gathering. James and Jeremy were at work across the street, like literally across the street. I'm just like chatting it up with Harlem. I'm in the kitchen. I'm like, girl, you know, come help me cut this fruit. Like, we had oranges, strawberries, grapes, like we just had watermelon. They just dumped the watermelon off on their break and was like, hey, chop this shit up. Like, after work, we gonna do this shit. Like, I was like, I got you. Like, it's all good. So I'm in the kitchen. I got my little cutting board. I'm, you know, chopping it up with Harlem. Like, we're talking about music or something. So Pinky walks up to Harlem and I in the kitchen as we're cutting fruit. So she walks up to us, little 7-year-old girl. She's like, what are you guys doing? What are you guys making? You know, just like asking all these questions. And like, I just got nervous. I don't know why. Like, I just couldn't tell her, like, tonight we're just gonna get drunk, and I don't really know who's gonna take care of you, but it's gonna be lit. So I don't know what to tell her. So literally I just go uh grown up juice. And then Harlem starts cracking up. I'm like, did I explain it? Like, did I explain alcohol correctly? Like, how do I explain alcohol? And we're about to get fucked up to a 7-year-old. Grown up juice is what I came up. And she was like, oh, okay. And like went back to the living room and did whatever, right? The nighttime rolls around. Jeremy and James are home, and Lee comes over, and who else was there? I know there was like a couple other girls there. Like Pinky was awake for the party. It was crazy. So we got the music going, like everybody's drinking and stuff like that. Like it's getting time for like people to get wavy, bro. Like everybody's loose, everybody's like, you know, having a good time. Like James is in his room like vibing out to music with like a couple people in his room. They're just chatting, da 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 da. Oh, let me go back because Lee and I had a moment at the party, but it's not gonna make sense until I tell you this other story. I'm not gonna make it long. This is just a little side story, okay? I've never said this to a lot of people before. I've only said this to like maybe somebody one-on-one. I am attracted to females. I'm attracted to girls. Okay, I'm attracted to girls. So yeah, I'm attracted to girls, and Lee was the first kiss that I ever had. I ended up having a dream about her, and then like I was in the car, Doe was driving, Lee was in the passenger seat, and I was in the back seat. We were on our way back to the house, back to the apartment. I don't remember what I said, but she was like, you had a dream about me, didn't you? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, well, so you like me? And I was like, well, she's like, have you ever kissed a girl? And I was like, no. Like, I was so sheltered, you guys. Like, I didn't really get to do a lot of things. I could have actually with a girl in high school, but like she was dropping hints, but I didn't understand because like I was just always taught that like liking girls as a girl is bad. So like I just never got to experience or experiment, right? So when Lee was like, you've never kissed a girl, I got nervous. I was like, no, like, you know, I know I want to. And she was like, well, just kiss me. And I was like, come again, what did you say? I was so fucking shocked. I was so shocked, and like my heart was fucking pounding. And then Doe was like, yeah, just do it, just do it. And I was like, fuck it. And so, like, as Doe is driving, like, I get up out of the back seat and like I pull myself up, and Lee and I just start fucking kissing. Like it was not like a peck, bro. Like we were making out, like heavy making out, and like it got to the point where Doe was like, geez, like come on guys. like if Doe did not say anything, like I don't know, like if we would have kept going or what. But Doe stops us, right? So now that you know that backstory, let's go back to the night of the party. So everybody's like, you know, having a good time, da 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 da. And I remember James came out of the room one time, and it was just only me and Lee in the living room. Everyone else was either outside or in James's room. So James comes out and he pulls one of the dining room table chairs into the living room. Lee and I had already been in there, and we were talking like just about nothing, and she was just so sexy to me. Like she was so feminine. She, you know, her hair was always done, her makeup was always done, she was always in heels and dresses and, you know, cute jewelry. Like she was just so beautiful to me. Like I just loved everything, you know, like her femininity. She and I are talking, and then James comes in there, and like we talk with him for a little bit, but like we're all so freaking drunk that like we forget that he's even there, because he just stopped talking to us, and like we just started talking to each other. Lee and I ended up sitting on the floor, I think, and I was like, I can't remember. Oh, I think she like stumbled a little bit, and I saw her panties, and I was like, oh my god, those are so cute. Where'd you get them from? And she was like, oh, I got them from Victoria's Secret, like, haha, you can see them, da da da. I was like, oh my god, I love Victoria's Secret, like, their panties are so cute. And this whole time, James is just being a fucking creep. He's not saying a word. He's just like leaned back, like one leg is like stretched out, and he's got his drink in a hand, just watching us like it's a fucking like intro to porn, right? Like just creepy as shit. So she and I are talking about like Victoria's Secret panties, and then I don't remember how it happened, but like we were kind of like tussling a little bit, I don't know, and then like she fell on top of me, because like I said, we were sitting on the floor, and like I think she was like trying to reach over me, or I don't remember, but like we ended up like falling on top of each other, and like when she falls on top of me, we're both like giggling and you know, like cute little girls, you know, schoolgirls or whatever like that, 18-year-old schoolgirls. Don't forget that. And like then we stop giggling, and like we look at each other, and like both of our eyes like went to each other's lips, and like I just snapped out of it because I saw James out of the corner of my eye, and I remembered right then and there, I remembered that he was there. So I was like, oh, you know, like I didn't do all that, but I was just like, oh shit, in my head, you know what I mean? So I got her off of me, and like I tried to play it off like we weren't about to kiss, and James's creepy ass, he was like, whoa, for a second there I thought you guys were gonna kiss. And I was like, no, like why would we do that? You're crazy, James, get out of here. I just try to keep things normal, and like I just try to like play it off. James ends up going back into his room where my boyfriend Jeremy was. So as soon as James leaves, Lee was like, she was like, why didn't you kiss me? Like, you know, it could have been cute, you know, everybody could have seen us kiss or something like that. And I was like, I don't want anybody to know. So she was like, yeah, like it's cute, you know, for girls to kiss at a party, and you know, drunk girls to kiss and da 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 da. And I was like, I don't want anyone to know Jeremy's in there. Like, I don't want him to know. What if he breaks up with me? She was like, no, he's not gonna break up with you, he's gonna think it's hot. Like, let's go in the room right now and just start kissing in front of people. And I was like no, like I was having like a panic attack. I was like, Lee, no. She's like, come on, like pulling me in the room. I was like, Lee, no, like I can't, like what if he breaks up with me? I can't. And she was like, oh my god, just calm down or whatever, let's just go in the room and chill with everybody. I was like, okay. Whew. Okay. Whew. Alright, let's just enjoy the party. I wasn't ready. Like, we had a private moment in the car. Like, you know, she was always a party girl. Like, always, right? So I'm new to this party scene. Like, I've been sheltered. Like, I don't get out. I don't, right? So to her it was nothing, but to me it was like, it was so like overwhelming, right? So to this day, oh my god, Jeremy, if you're watching in real life, like, you obviously know who you are, but like, this is the first time, if you're watching Jeremy, that he's heard of this. Like, I've never ever told anybody that I kissed Lee. Doe was the only one that know. I don't know, Doe, she has a big mouth, so she probably told everybody already, but this is the first time it's coming out of my mouth, right? So so we're all in James's room, and at this point I don't even know where Pinky was. I honestly don't. Harlem had invited somebody else over, but it was a guy, and like, I don't know how they knew each other, but like, he never came inside, right? So she's outside, and I know that she's drunk, and so I go outside and try to find her, just, you know, like, make sure she's okay. Like, you know, I'm a hostess, like, you know, even though James and Jeremy are the only ones on the lease, like, you know, I'm the woman of the house. Like, I felt like, you know, it was my job to make sure everyone's good, having a good time, and things like that. So I go downstairs to check on her outside, and she's like sitting on like this short brick wall with her friend, and she's like dumbass drunk. She put her arms on my shoulder. She's like, this is my friend, and this is my friend. So like, she introduced us or whatever. Like, you know what, I love you. I was like, I love you too, Harlem. She's like, no, like, I love you, give me a kiss. I was like, okay, you know. She's like, no, like, on the lips. And I was like, are you sure, Harlem? Like I said before, like, I was a fan of Harlem, but it was more like a best friend. Like, I wanted to be her best friend. Like, I wanted us to have like a bond and like be sisters and stuff like that. It was not on the same level as me and Lee. So like, but I, you know, she was beautiful. She's still beautiful. So I ended up kissing her, and she was like, yeah, that's why I love you. Like, she was just so freaking white girl wasted, and like I was too, but like I said, I was the most sober person. She ends up having to go upstairs to go to the bathroom. James had came down, and like they were talking or whatever, so she's like, I have to go to the bathroom, can you come with me to the bathroom? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. She's like sloppy drunk, like stumbling all over the place. I was like, do you want me to like stay in here with you? She's like, no, you don't have to stay in here with me. I was like, I don't mind, like, it's all good. She's like, no. So I was like, okay, I'll just be right outside. If you need anything, just tell me and I'll come in. She's like, okay. Close the door, and I sit on James's bed, and like, I hear like scuffling around or whatever like that, and like, I'm like, okay, drunk people do take a long time to go to the bathroom, so I'm waiting, and I noticed that like I don't hear anything anymore. So I got a little worried, and like after a while I started knocking on the door. I'm like, Harlem, are you okay? Like, do you need help? Nothing. I don't hear anything. I was like, Harlem, are you good? And so I try to open the door. It's locked. And I started freaking out. I was like knocking. I was like almost banging. I was like, Harlem, wake up, because I figured, you know, she just like passed out on the freaking toilet. So I was like, oh my god, like, what's going on? Like I said, like, I was the most green, am I using that term right? I was the most inexperienced person there, right? So I panic, and I run downstairs, and I'm like, James, Harlem locked herself in your bathroom. I don't know, is there any way you can get in there and wake her up and da-da-da? He's like super calm. He's like, I'll just figure it out later. Like, I was like, but she's locked in the bathroom, like, she's sleeping on the toilet. He's like, I'll take care of it. I was like, you're awfully calm. You're awfully pretty calm here. And so I was like, okay, like, I guess there's nothing else I can do. Like, he doesn't give a fuck. So the next morning I get up, and you know, I was gonna make my little family breakfast. And so I open our bedroom door, and like this whole like stinky smell just like hits my freaking face, and I'm like, oh, what is that? And I realized that like the smell is throw up, it's vomit, and like the entire living room smells like vomit. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so disgusting. So I look over on the couch, and Pinky is laying on the couch, and like some of the cushion covers are like removed, and then right next to her face on the floor, where her head was facing, directly on the floor, is the bowl that had Harlem's vomit in it. So here is this 7-year-old girl sleeping on a couch that used to have vomit on it, no blanket for her, no pillow, and she's directly breathing this girl's vomit. So I just get so mad. I get so mad, and I'm like, how could they do this? Why would you put this here? You didn't give her a blanket, no pillow. Like, y'all are just disgusting. I got the vomit, and I cleaned it up or whatever. I sprayed the room. I woke up Pinky, and I was like, oh my god, like, I'm so sorry this happened. Like, we were all just really irresponsible last night. We were drunk. I'm so sorry that you had to sleep in this conditions. You could have came in our room. Like, I don't mind. Like, you really should have just said something, you know, even though she's a little girl. And like, most of the night I don't even remember her being there, but like, I know that she was. I just don't know where she was. And like, you know, I thought everything was gonna be good because, you know, her uncle is supposed to look after her. So I make her breakfast. I make, you know, my son breakfast and things like that. And like, I'm just like trying to comfort her, and like, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let them have it. So I told Jeremy, and I was like, you need to get your cousin in check. James wakes up, and he ends up leaving to take Pinky home, and Harlem is still there, and she's like, you know, hung over and like talking really slow and like sluggish, and we're sitting on the couch, and like, she's like, oh, you know, like, she's like, did I get locked in the bathroom last night? And I was like, yeah, like, I tried to take you, you know, to the bathroom, and you just ended up passing out. And I freaked out, and I told James, and I was like, well, you know, are you good? She was like, yeah, I mean, I don't really remember how I got out of there, but James and I had sex. And I was like, huh? She was like, yeah, I just remember him, like, on top of me. And I was like, Harlem, that's not okay. You don't remember how you guys started doing that? She was like, no, I just remember being in the bathroom, and then he was on top of me. I was like, she's like, but it's okay though, like, you know, it's whatever. I was like, no, it's not. She was like, yeah, and like, I'm on my period. I was like, what? And he still did it? She was like, yeah, that's why these sheets are right here in the corner. And like, I looked over and I saw these white sheets, and they were all like balled up, and because they were messy, they were messed up, right? And she was like, yeah, I'm just gonna go buy him some more sheets. And I was like, what? That's not even your fault. Like, he was the one who did this to you. He knew what he was doing. He knew what was going on down there. I'm pretty sure when he took you out of the bathroom, like, he knew what was going on. She's like, no, I'm just gonna buy him some sheets. I was like, how could you be okay? You know what? That's a whole different thing. Like, it still breaks my heart. It really does freaking break my heart that James, like, after that, I never liked James. I never did. We ended up living with him for a while, and like, while I was there, I was so disrespectful, and it was because like, I knew what he did to her. And like, I don't know, I don't want to get into it, but that was the time that I had the craziest, weirdest house party-ish, house gathering ever. It was like my first one at 18, and it was, to me, it was wild. So once again, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you just subscribe. Let me know your first party experience down below. How old were you, and what were some of like the crazy highlights that happened? And I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.